Hey there, everyone. Jim here with Fantasy for the Ages, the father of this father son show, coming at you today to talk about books that I think I'm going to enjoy. One set that I already have enjoyed. More about that in a moment. I just want to make sure that you know if you enjoy this episode, we really like and appreciate if you like it down below. Let's work that YouTube algorithm and help people find Zach and I here on this channel. Also, we hope you will subscribe and take a look down below. You can see where you can leave your thoughts on what I have here today, but also all the ways that you can connect with us. Discord, social media, email, you name it. We love to hear from people. Speaking of hearing from people, Patreon. That's a way you can definitely connect with us. Tell us you enjoy what's happening by supporting us, helping us cover the costs of putting this out all the time. Our Patreon link is down below. I want to give a shout out today to a brand new patron we have, Tall Dark. Thank you. One of our Brooks tier patrons now. Thank you. Your support, very much appreciated. Welcome to the Fantasy for the Ages family. Thought it'd be a nice time to give a shout out to our other ongoing patrons at this time, too. So, also at the Brooks tier, we've got longtime supporters Jordo, Jason Enberg, and DT. Thank you so much. Next up at our Feist tier, we've got Flamingo Sadai. Joe, we appreciate your support as always. At this tier, Flamingo Sadai also has advance access to all of our episodes. Whenever they're ready, boom, they drop. Don't have to wait till the publish date. And finally, we have 4 more patrons up another tier, the Abercrombie level, meaning all of our Patreon-only content is opened up. So big shout-outs to Carrie John, Amis, Emmeline, and the longest of all, Eric Hahn. We love and appreciate you all. All right, with those details out of the way, let's get to what I'm talking about today. I kind of call this a quick take, but it's not going to be as quick as many of those episodes. Everyone's journey of literature discovery is different, is unique. I'm no exception to this. Thus, it struck me that I ought to do an episode here simply highlighting authors whose books I've noticed, things that are on my TBR that I haven't gotten to yet, and these are all books and authors that I don't hear a lot about. I mean, I talk about them maybe, but I'm not hearing just in the general fandoms anything about most of these. I can't vouch for how great some of these will be yet, but what I've seen about them was enough to interest me, put them on the TBR, and I'll be moving into all of these fairly soon. They're high on the list. I'm hoping they're diamonds in the rough, and sometimes that does totally end up being true. So I'm going to work my way down from top. Okay, not all the way to the bottom of my TBR, just through a few of the upcoming books and series that I'm going to be getting to. Remember, I've got 1,300 books on my TBR. This won't be that long of an episode, but I probably will do more episodes like this in the future. The first one I want to highlight here is the one I just finished, actually, but I was still in process when I thought of this episode, and that's John O'Brien's A New World, a 10-book series. I'm about to do content just on this series. A fantastic ride, so I'm not going to say much more there, but I wanted to give it a shout out here right now. John O'Brien, A New World. Good stuff. Next up, The Infected. Now, this is an 8-book series by Joseph Zuko. And in it, a couple of people, Jim and Karen, husband, wife, and their kids, so a family, are trying to deal with a violent outbreak of the zombie apocalypse. Jim and Karen are separate when it first happens, so of course it's we got to get back together, and then how they work through things, the decisions they make, how they band together with others along the way, all these decisions that they're making when the stakes are highest, trying to survive. Looks intense. The 8 books, none of them look super long, so, kind of churn right through them probably. I'm looking forward to the Infected series. Then we've got My Dead World, a 4-book series by Jacqueline Druga. Now, I've read a couple of things by her. I've got a whole episode on her Rise trilogy, so I'm looking forward to moving into something else of hers. It's yet another The World Goes to Zombies survival adventure. Can they make it until a cure can be found? I'll find out. Another one coming soon, United States of Apocalypse trilogy. Now, this is a partnership writing, Mark Tufo and Armand Rosamilia. Mark Tufo brings his great character from the Zombie Fallout series and other series, Michael Talbot, into a cooperative adventure with another apocalyptic author and his protagonist that he's created for this story. And it's set in, the United States, but during the apocalypse. So you've got Michael Talbot on the East Coast. You've got another character. She's working in from the West Coast. They're going to end up connecting in some way through, I think it's set in the ZA setting that Tufo has created, but I'm not into it yet. So it just looks intriguing. It looks like another excuse to have adventures and the fight against the zombies. And I'm always happy to get more of Tufo's writing. So I'm going to give this one a try. Speaking of Tufo's writing, always sucking me in, he and John O'Brien, that one who wrote A New World, they have an 8-book series, maybe it'll grow to more, that I'm eager to read. It's kind of the next one on the TBR, and it's called A Shrouded World. The best description of A Shrouded World is the two primary protagonists from Zombie Fallout and A New World, Michael Talbot, Jack Walker, respectively, are grabbed out of their worlds and dropped together into this different place, a shrouded world. Together, they will go through various adventures, experiences, and dangers, all simply from the driving focus of getting back home to something they share. Family members that are the most important things to each of them. Everything from aliens to Atlantis to, of course, zombies, all are in the way, and they've got to find a way to overcome. Looks like a mashup of delightful craziness, and I'm looking forward to getting to A Shrouded World. To be honest, that's why I read A New World. I found A Shrouded World first, and it has this Jack Walker guy brought in with author John O'Brien. I'm like, okay, I gotta go learn who he is first. That one's done. I've got A New World in. I can move to A Shrouded World soon. Another trilogy of apocalyptic goodness is The Bleed, where 3 authors have come together in a collaboration that seems to be off the hook. The tagline description of this trilogy seems to say all I really need. It always bleeds through. 3 worlds, 3 authors, the mother of all apocalypses. I don't know where that came from. Going a little deeper, it seems like there may be a merging of characters and worlds in this trilogy, all facing a new existential threat to all existence, of course. Simple story. Should be fun. By the way, the authors for this series that are collaborating are David Moody, Chris Philbrook, and then my boy, Mark Tufo again. And I think they're all bringing things they've created in different series into this one mashup. Obviously, I'm planning to dig into a whole bunch of apocalyptic literature, much of it clearly involving some version of the zombie apocalypse. It's my jam. I can't hide it. And for the first 2 years of creating Fantasy for the Ages, I kind of put it aside while I focused on catching up on some better known fantasy and science fiction that I'd missed over the years. Don't regret that at all. Some great stuff I've covered now. But it's time to get back into this goodness that I just, my simple pleasures. So here's another one that I'm going to do right in the same mold. Frank Tayell's Surviving the Evacuation series, a United Kingdom based telling of a worldwide zombie apocalyptic outbreak and how people in England, Scotland, and Ireland are trying to survive. This is a 19-book series with a novella prequel as well. All the books are fairly short, like Dresden File lengths, 200 to 300 pages. So while this is quite a lengthy series, I'm certain it moves along pretty quickly. It starts with a trilogy using a journal technique to document the experience of one particular family, and then the series seems to adjust and broaden its scope starting at book 4. I have little doubt I will power right through this series. Okay, that's probably enough for today. Truly, I do have more on my TBR from lesser known authors and works outside of zombie apocalypse literature. but I do really love this subgenre, so that's where I'm going to spend some time first. I'll get to some other types that are in my TBR in the next episode of this type. If any of you have read any of the ones that I just highlighted here today, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know. Oh man, this is great. Oh man, don't waste your time, Jim. Give me the feedback. Really appreciate it. Of course, always in non spoiler format. Don't tell me what the plot is. Don't ruin anything. Feel free to tell me, oh no, that sucked. But don't tell me why. Okay, that's it. Thanks again. I don't think I can call this a quick take now. A somewhat quick take? All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll talk to you next time.